Jim Bowie, he was a bold adventuring man.
Jim Bowie. How is that? That's Jim Bowie, huh? How about that? Yeah. You say it however you want, but the knives nowadays, that's not Jim Bowie's knife anymore. Sorry. What's up, YouTube? Brody here. What do you guys say we go look at some steel? I got some great classics. I have 7 of them from my Western Cutlery collection, and they are awesome, man. I mean, I don't have words for them. Boom. There we go. Check that out. Let's go take a look at these knives. Alright. So, here we are. What do you think of that, man? Well, where do we start here? I guess we'll just start down here on the left over here on the bottom. Take a look at this one. Sheath and all. This is a new old stock. This has never been worn, used, or sharpened. The leather's still stiff like new. Let's take a look at this here. That is a letter A for date code. That would start in 77 with the A's. So 77's A, 78 would have been a B, 79 would have been a C. You guys get it. Alright, that's what the leather sheath looked like back then. It had the tension strap or the retaining strap, sorry, up here. Instead of down here across the back of it, it's up here. Which I don't like, but it works. But they resolved that later down the road some, so here we go. We got another one. This one's never been worn or used either. This one's brand new, old stock. Very similar sheath, even though the Western emblems are different. I think all of them are. And we have another beautiful blade. And this one, I believe, is a J. See if I can get that in there for you somehow. Look at that finish. You can see me in it. Man, these are beautiful knives. Look at that brass. Amazing what a little bit of flitz will do. And pins. Pretty much the same as the last knife. But still beautiful. Alright. We'll move on to the next one. If I can get this one, I will close it later. How about that? Let's take a look at this one. Somebody obviously modified the sheath on it. It's kind of a bummer, but it's not ruined by any means, but it is used. But the sheath is still in decent shape, strength-wise and protection-wise. Let's see here. We got a couple. We have a little spot there. That's it. This is a E. This isn't brand new, but this knife is in pretty good shape, as you can see. The Westerns will take a beating. I had one. You can see where this one was rusted here somewhat. I ain't going to try to take the rest of that out of there. Beautiful knives. And these were 1095 carbon steel, basically Western's version of 1095 carbon. That's what all these knives are made out of. despite what you're going to hear. So yeah, they can rust. They can patina. The knife is in really great shape in comparison to the sheath, but yeah, that's all right. Beautiful knives. This next one I'm going to show you, I got from a friend, and it was kind of in bad shape. She was rusted a little bit, and guard was really green, and this is it here. This is an M. I cleaned this up and repolished it. You can see some places where the pitting is. I left the pitting in. I'm not going to try to take it out. It doesn't hurt that knife that much. So yes, this has been kind of used and kind of carried, but it's in still great shape. It's mostly on that one side. Again, the rosewood handle. Beautiful knives, man. Beautiful knives. Alright. And for my final Western, this would be the 100-year anniversary of Western knives. What do you think about that? I'm going to say the blade on here is a satin finish and not mirrored. Again, the same beautiful handle. Some of these knives are very, very old, and you look at the handles and they're still like new. Western was an awesome company. It's just too bad they're gone. I don't know if anybody knows where they got their start at. It was out in Colorado, but the Case used to work together, Case and Western Knives, believe it or not. If you go back into history, you'll see it. This is the sheath for the one. That's this one. This one is in a display box. It's never been, of course, worn, used. It hasn't even been in the sheath. This sheath, of course, this is brand new. This is what the sheath looks like after you get into the Camillus era. Tension strap here is in the front. It doesn't have the length that the other ones had, so it doesn't hang quite as low, but it's still the traditional swing sheath. And this one here for the M, they switched it up too, because it's got the tension strap in the front instead of around the handle. And this one's shorter too, so it ain't hanging down way down to your knee, but you know, it still gives you that freedom of movement, especially if you tie it off with a leg tie and it moves with your leg. I mean, you can move the knife out of your way. I mean, you know, these sheaths to me are they're the it thing to have to me. I always were when I went in the woods back in the day. I loved carrying my 49. So there's that. Now let's look at some rare and hardly ever seen Westerns in a 49 type style. So we got a 47 over here. Same thing with the handle. Beautiful knife. Sheath is just like the Big Brother. Just a smaller version of the knife. And this is the actual special edition Jim Bowie version. I said Bowie. This is actually serial numbered, which I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's over here in the right side at the top of the tang there towards the back of the guard. You can kind of see it there a little bit. Hard to get it with a reflection on her, ain't it? Beautiful knife. I mean, this fits in the hand nice for the smaller knife. It's just a smaller Western. I mean, it's the feel of that in your hand. That feels good, man. I mean, considering you think it would be too small to hold on to, or whatever, nah, that feels good, man. All right, and of course it has the Camillus Arrow Western sheath, just like the 100-year anniversary one does. I think the ring even is brass. Okay, let's even look at an even lesser seen Western. This is the Western 45. This is brand new too. Never been carried. Doesn't have the traditional swing sheath, but again, she's so small, you know what I mean? Let's see here. This is an N in the date code. This blade's a little over 5 inches. I can't remember what it is overall, but I can measure it real quick. Full tang, brass Z-guard, like all of them. And for a little knife, same thing. Your one finger kind of hangs back, but man, you can feel that knife. It feels comfortable. I mean, you could use this. It doesn't, you know, it's actually usable. You know, you can just tell how it feels. It feels good. You know, I could cut with this and use this. It's just a smaller Bowie version. You know, man, these are nice. Yeah, that's sweet. Do believe there's another Western coming on its way. We'll see. I doubt I'm ever going to quit collecting Westerns. Alright, let me switch you off here somewhere else. What'd you guys think of that, huh? Pretty nice knives, huh? We'll stop on back by and maybe I'll show you some more eye candy. Alright, Brody's gone.